Cool. So thank you again for having me. That's so nice. This is Mr. Darren Overby. And I have some interview questions for you as a teacher of grade 7-8 French in Toronto. Do you have certain strategies that you enjoy using to help focus the students?
Whether I enjoy them or not, well, sometimes you just have to use certain strategies that work. I think one strategy, with any class that I would teach is getting them into a routine, which is established at the beginning of a class, or more precisely at the beginning of a year. And then you kind of build on that. So you get into a routine about certain things like entry, exit, and then once those things are established, you can focus more on the learning. I try to implement or incorporate a lot of music in my classes. Like, for example, conjugating verbs. The verb être, to be. I created the conjugation and put it to the Katy Perry song, California Girls. So the kids like that. It is a strategy that you need to have the kids enjoy taking the subject, get them to help memorize in an enjoyable way. There are some other strategies that throughout the program. I use the Oniva program for the grade 7s and 8s, and there's different strategies, listening strategies, reading strategies, comprehension, and all that I use. But I could outline that another time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I did notice there's quite a range of ability in your class. How do you...
Shakeen, I understand please come to the
right in
office.
the middle of our interview. How do you address those differences? The different abilities, the really low kids and the very obviously keen kids who get all their work done in 2 minutes.
The catchphrase is differentiated instruction these days, right? DI. And I think I'm still, even since my teacher's college, where I was introduced to it, it's a progress in understanding how that fits into one's own teaching. Mm-hmm. So there's certain things that I do. I take a look at Bloom's taxonomy about our multiple intelligences. Try to vary the activities. I was referring to music as one way, art, sort of math, bodily kinesthetic activities that I can incorporate to vary things up.
Yes, I did notice your
little things that can help the kids remember and getting them to do things to help them understand. Grouping, sometimes they're ability-based, where kids are at a certain level, they can help each other. Sometimes they're mixed grouping, where you got a high, low, medium range of students where they can all sort of have a role, but basically help each other come up to a certain level. Offering choices in projects or tasks that can appeal to students and get them motivated. I think once there's motivation, there's a better chance that they would be engaged and be open to meeting the expectations, like the curriculum expectations.
Yeah. That's amazing.
So
we've covered so much. Yeah, we've covered so much of that in class, actually. So it's kind of neat to hear it in the field as well. As well, how do you manage behavior issues in the class? We did today, in our observations, see some interesting behaviors, and I just wonder if there's a system in place, if you personally have a system.
Okay, well, there's a few that I would use or I've tried over time, but I guess one is going back to establishing routines. Kind of make it expected from the beginning of the year, setting out the expectations. I have posted up there, follow signals, routines, teacher's instructions. Number 2, come prepared to class. And number 3, follow tribes and grievance, which includes being respectful and attentive listening.
Mm-hmm.
I always refer back to those if an infraction has occurred. Also, doing some occasionally tribes agreements activities like attentive listening activities. Listening is a skill, a learning skill that is necessary in all subjects, right?
Yes.
Just playing certain games that kind of reflect the expectation that we want to convey to the kids. Being clear on my instructions. A lot of times I'll write the instructions on the board, having the page numbers there, showing visuals, to lessen the anxiety about learning a second language. Some other systems are writing names on the board. Now, usually I kind of switch it up. Before, I always focus on the negative, and really, I think one thing that teachers really have to do is focus on the positive, what the kids are doing, and it's only when I really, really, really can't get across that I have to write a name on the board for a negative, like you're staying in for recess,
Mm-hmm.
and having that leverage there. But a lot of times, if it's the end of a period before recess or lunch or after school, I have a little bit of leverage there for students to do their work or to shift their behavior, and I'll write names of the students leaving on time.
Yes.
And
I like that.
I've made big mistakes by punishing or disciplining whole students or whole groups where the good students are sort of mixed in with receiving a detention or some discipline action, and that really backfires eventually.
Yes.
So the good students start kind of rebelling a bit as well. So try to focus on the positive. Try to address individuals rather than groups. Certain individuals need warnings, like signals, which is like 1, 2, 3, like 3 strikes and there's a consequence. Either go work in another classroom. I have it set up with other teachers that I can send kids there. There's always the office or even outside if need be, or just switch around the seating plans. The seating is a key strategy, like how I take into consideration while getting groups together is their ability or their learning abilities as well as their personalities.
Yes.
So sometimes I do a good job on it, sometimes not so good. So you just tweak them where need be.
Keep moving them along.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah, you change it every day. Very reflective of you.
Well,
Yes.
we'll try.
So, do you have any extra advice for new teachers or student teachers that you can offer that I can share with my class?
Come to the realization that you're never ever going to have a perfect class. And if it does happen, I've seen really close to perfect classes, but you teach the kids that you have. Like it's easy to wish kids away.
Yeah.
Based on poor behavior or personality, but be in the moment and just accept who you got, and know that some problems can be fixed by you, and sometimes you need to ask for help with, your colleagues. You have to look upon those resources as well. Reflect on your teaching practice, and it's always changing, and you're always improving. Take what works and leave the rest. As well as, but just realize you got to put the students first. Some of the kids come with no breakfast.
Yeah.
It's hard when you realize that. It's hard to get upset or frustrated with them not being able to keep their head up, or being a little anxious in class, or just not being able to concentrate. So, children before curriculum. Curriculum will always happen, but you're going to get pressures around saying that you got to cover this, and yeah, we do. We're accountable to that, but always realize why you're here. Never forget that, because if you get caught up in having to cover the curriculum all the time, and I think if you do that, you kind of lose your mojo for teaching.
Yeah.
And
actually, I believe that is my teaching philosophy as well. The kids will come before curriculum. That's why you go into teaching. If you just want to teach the content of something, then you can go teach adults or anything else. But when it comes to kids, these are still developing people. So,
yeah.
Oh, nice to hear.
Breathe.
Breathe? Oh,
just
breathe.
I forget myself, and yeah, just it takes some time. I remember I was pretty volatile as a beginning teacher. Yoga's helped.
What's that?
Yoga has helped.
All right. Fair enough. I gotta go stock up on a supply of Lululemon stuff, I guess.
Chantillon.
So thank you very much for doing this interview. I appreciate it. And
problem.
thank you for having me in your class.
Glad
Merci
you're
beaucoup.
able to come. There you go. Peace out.
Yeah, peace out.